For being out here today on a very busy news day to help us kick off Community Action Month here in Kern County. So to welcome you again to Friendship House Community Center. This, if you don't know, Friendship House is our youth center, and it is rooted in the history of CAPK itself and in this community out here in Southeast Bakersfield. So to talk a little bit more about that, I want to welcome Lois Hannibal, our program manager here at Friendship House, to the podium.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to the CAPK Friendship House. I'm not sure if you're aware, but good things are happening in Southeast Bakersfield. Just to the south of us, they're building a new high school, and just to the north of us, we have a new elementary school. And right here in the middle is what I like to call a jewel in the community, the Friendship House Community Center. That not even during the pandemic, we stopped services. When the students transitioned to distance learning, we provided distance learning here through our Learning Pod program. We are now providing our after-school program at no cost, and we're gearing up for a summer program, which will also be provided at no cost. Both of these programs provide educational enrichment, recreational activities, as well as meals for community youth. In addition, we have a mentor program. With our mentor program, we connect community youth with caring volunteer mentors. We also have a Medi-Cal outreach program. Through the Medi-Cal outreach program, we provide Medi-Cal information and application assistance to the community. However, there is still more work to be done. We are having a fencing and lighting campaign to raise funds to provide fencing and lighting around the sports field out back. This will allow for evening activities here at the center. In addition, we are planning to revitalize our community garden, which will provide community youth with the efforts to provide fresh produce and good nutrition for the family. So even though there's more work to be done, I like to celebrate along the way. And I know that through the generosity of those that care about this community and that care about the Friendship House, that I will be back before you soon, celebrating even more achievements. So with that, again, welcome and thank you for your continued support.
Thank you, Lois. The Friendship House is a wonderful example of the 17 programs that CAPK provides to the community, and all the things that Lois talked about show just how varied the support we have here in the community. To tell you more about that and more about Community Action Month, I want to welcome our CEO, Jeremy Tobias.
Oh. All right, thank you, James. Across the United States, Community Action Month is dedicated to the celebration of nearly 6 decades of work towards eliminating the causes and conditions of poverty. We want to thank you for joining us here today at the Friendship House Community Center to kick off Community Action Month. Community Action was created in May 1965 as part of President Lyndon Johnson's War on Poverty. The agency that we know today as Community Action Partnership of Kern was born that same month. It isn't easy work. We're still doing it after 57 years. But the abject poverty that drove Johnson to declare war on the human suffering he witnessed in the 1960s has been eliminated for many millions of people. Community Action Month is about helping the rest. You've heard about some of our programs, such as our CAPK Food Bank, our Head Start Early Childhood Education Centers, our 211 call center, of course, the Friendship House. People who use just one of our programs see an improvement in their lives. Their children enter kindergarten ahead of their peers, not behind them. They learn to build healthy eating habits. Their pantry is stocked with healthy food. Each of those results can come from one of our programs. But CAPK runs 17 programs. Our message to our community is simple. Help is here for you, and you can use it. Call 211 today or visit our website at capk.org and find out all the ways that CAPK can help change your day, your month, or maybe even your entire life. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate you sharing kind of the depth of our programs here, and that's really what Community Action Partnership Month is today, as we begin to celebrate this national event. To help us talk more about that, I want to welcome the chairman of our governing board, Fred Plain.
Thank you, James. Good morning. I'm Fred Plain, and for the last 30 years, I've had the pleasure of serving on the board of directors of Community Action Partnership. Over those past 30 years, I've seen many changes come about in this organization. We've grown from an organization of approximately 300 employees to over 900 employees today. We have expanded our services beyond Kern County into San Joaquin County and San Bernardino counties. We're touching more lives than ever and helping people that are in need of our services. We're in the process of expanding our food bank significantly, which is just down the street from us. And you can see here that we have this wonderful facility to meet some of the needs of the Southeast Bakersfield community. These changes I mentioned are just a few of the many areas that CAPK has risen up to meet the needs of our community and the less fortunate. And it's through the hard work of our staff and our many support of our many community partners and support of our board of directors. Ultimately, what CAPK is really about is services to people in our community who need our assistance. In what it was recently redrawn 21st Congressional District, which extends into Fresno County, there are over 50,000 households that earn less than $25,000 a year. More than 27% of those families with children are living under the federal poverty level. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau in 2019 data, 17.7% of those people don't even have a high school diploma. Okay, those are CAPK's people. They are the people that we work to serve and assist every day. And Community Action Month is about connecting them to our services. In the past, we've celebrated Community Action Month in a lot of different ways, by posting stories about our staff, by cheering on our partners, and highlighting the great work that we do. And we're doing all of that, but a little different as well. We will be hosting a special service day where our clients can meet all the CAPK programs in one place, and that will happen on May 21st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Heritage Park on Mount Vernon Avenue. Okay. And I will tell you more about that in the coming weeks. Now, I want to make one more comment here. The next speaker was the president of the board when I first came on 30 years ago. And when I first came on the board, it was more of an assignment. I was told I was going to be on the board, assigned by the Board of Supervisors. But when I met Fuchsia Ward and I saw the fire she had for helping our community, that really inspired me. Her enthusiasm is infectious, and she's really inspired me over the 30 years that I've known her to get more involved in the community and try to do good things and give back to our community. So I owe a lot to Fuchsia Ward, who's going to speak next, but I'll turn it over to James. Thank you.
All right, and our last speaker today, I can do no better than Mr. Plain's introduction, so I'll just say Fuchsia Ward.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. I am happy to see you here at Friendship House. Friendship House is my heart because it's where I got my start. Let me tell you about Friendship House. Friendship House is the brainchild of the United Churches of Christ, the California Migrant Ministry. Back in the early 50s, this community where I lived to the south of here was a migrant community of farm workers. My parents were farm workers. The community is known as Carversville on the east side of Cottonwood and Crystal Heights on the west side of Cottonwood. They were two communities known as the worst poverty communities in the U.S. Now, at one time, I had the Time article that supported that, and for moving around so much, I don't know, I lost it. But anyway, Friendship House is a community center that is designed to provide hope, faith, and encouragement. And it does that. It does that by providing the various programs, which you have heard many of them from the previous speakers. In the beginning, prior to a building, Friendship House operated arts and crafts programs on vacant lots, in churches, on sidewalks, wherever. And the workers were volunteers who roamed the community by day, talking to people, my parents included, considered the white individuals walking around here snoopers. What they were doing, finding out information about how they could provide programs to support the community. And as a result, Friendship House was created. Our first building did not arrive until 1957, thanks to the late Ray December and his wife, Joni, and the Kern County Land Company, Kern County Land Company donated the land through Ray December, and Ray found an old barrack out by Buttonwillow or someplace and brought it here, and those were the first buildings here at Friendship House. The programs were mostly arts and craft programs for the kids, and that was an effort to draw the parents. Once the parents came, then the community began to organize to do things to help make the community a better place to live. Initially, there were still outhouses out there. Initially, there were no sewers, no sidewalks, no curbs, no gutters, and working in the community, those things began to happen. In the late 60s, due to the War on Poverty program, lots of money came in, job training programs came about, and we were able to create a number of community groups to help build this community. It is through those programs that the target area program was created, that later became known as the KCEOC, which is now CAPK, grew out of Friendship House. In the early 2000s, the monies that came into Friendship House dried up. No money, because our support was highly dependent on donations. And thank God for Community Action Partnership. The community a group of individuals from the community went to the Community Action Agency and said, here we are, Friendship House, we need your help. And thanks to God, they did not bite their tongue. It was slow at first because they didn't know what they were getting into, but they decided to embrace us because they had the same mission as Friendship House. Friendship House mission was helping people help themselves, which is basically the same mission that Community Action Partnership has today. We started the Early Target Area program, which is the precursor to Head Start. Had it not been for CAPK, I do not know what would have happened to Friendship House because of all of the program and activities for the kids. And I am a product of Friendship House. I'll tell everybody, I'm a product of Friendship House. I was a bad little kid who didn't think anybody cared, grew up with a family of 11 brothers and sisters, and with all of the support services that came through Friendship House, I was able to receive scholarships, go to college, return to the community, work in education for 47 years, and decide now all I want to do is just volunteer and continue to give back. I would hope anybody listening to this would contribute to our effort here to continue our program and to make this center a safe place for students to come, to learn, and grow, and become, as I was told, whatever you want to become, because the mentorship and the support is here. So I give my praises to Community Action Partnership for taking us over with lots of love, and the Friendship House is here for everybody. We ask that you come and we'll help. Thank you.
All right, that wraps it up for today's press conference, and how there's no better way to wrap it up than the story of how community action changed Fuchsia's life and Fuchsia helped other lives be changed. And so we're really proud to kick off May as Community Action Month in Kern County, and appreciate you all for being out here. Thank you, and have a great day.